Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me. That one, we here back with part 5 for What If Naruto Had Devil Fruits. Not the kid, the series, the story itself. And if you're new here and you are not wondering why I'm welcoming you back, just go up to the top upper right hand corner. You can find the playlist with all 4 prior parts. Catch up and get here in this awesome story where I definitely did not mess up last time. Speaking of which, the fight between Sasuke and Rock Lee is going to begin, with Rock Lee being the one who won his fight against Gaara. Thank all of you in the comment section for reminding me, because I sort of included a little tidbit at the end, which was wrong, so it's cool. But basically, the Rock Lee versus Sasuke fight's going to happen. So, we're going to get into that right now. And remember, if you beautiful people want to support me and see more videos from me, hitting the like button and commenting something down below will really help spread the video around the algorithm, so maybe your boy can get more people interested in this sort of stuff. I don't know, but anyway, basically, Sasuke would arrive in the arena, his flames coating the sand on the ground and turning it to glass. Lee would smile, saying, "I hope your fight this time is better than when I last faced you." Basically hinting that he's going to beat him like he did back before the Chunin exams had started, when he had challenged him to a fight. Sasuke would smirk, saying it's not going to go like last time. Sasuke would activate his Sharingan, using a special technique that Kakashi said that he could use a cheat sort of ability when his Sharingan are activated. Kakashi would tell Sasuke about this special type of power, a power made much easier to those who possess a dojutsu. That power, well, you'll see. As Lee's fight with Sasuke begins, he'd move at blinding speeds, dropping his weight immediately as he goes for a kick on Sasuke. Lee's eyebrows would curl up though, as Sasuke dodges out of the way even before the attack lands, predicting the attack using his Sharingan. Lee would try and throw a few more punches and kicks, with pretty much most of them being unsuccessful, and Sasuke seemingly dodging everything he can throw at him. The Sasuke feels completely different than before. Lee, without his weight, is incredibly fast, and while he hasn't tapped into any of the gates yet, he would be immensely impressed with how far Sasuke has come in just under a month. As Sasuke and Lee's fight would continue, Sasuke would try and throw a kick on Lee, turning his leg into fire and trying to burn Lee. This is when Lee would then open the first gate, throwing a punch and hitting Sasuke's leg, transforming his leg back into a solid material. So you can use that already, huh? Naruto would be so confused, wondering how is he touching him, when Sasuke grinned, saying that, "I still haven't gotten that far yet, but I've already started working on my color of observation." Naruto has no idea what this is or what the hell Sasuke is talking about. All he knows is that Sasuke and Lee are on pretty even footing right now. But alas, that's where the fight ends, because immediately at this point is when the Konoha Crush plan will be initiated, with the Sand Trio starting their assault, the Genjutsu dropping, and Lee and Sasuke now having to stop their battle, tabling it for another time. Instead, they have to deal with the problem of the Konoha Crush plan, one major difference this time being that because there are much less Jinchuriki in the world due to the rarity of ceiling-type devil fruits, Gaara is not the holder of the One Tails. Instead, no, he's just the wielder of the Suna no Mi, the Sand fruit, which used to be his mother's devil fruit before she passed away, with the fruit being passed on to her child. Gaara instead would be keeping a level head, with most of his psychotic traits still showing but being far less pronounced due to the One Tails influence from the original timeline and him not being able to sleep. Gaara is able to sleep, but he has a lot of PTSD from his father trying to have him killed due to him not being pleased with Gaara receiving the devil fruit of the Suna no Mi. Basically, he would be shaming Gaara for stealing a power from the village, considering him as just some leech that had been given power just because of who his mother was and what she had chosen to do against the village's will. Anyway, instead of that happening, Gaara would start using Sobbles and all these other attack types to dry out and kill buildings, completely dehumidifying everyone as he's attacking multiple people with almost no remorse. Gaara would tell Sasuke he's got this, with Sasuke gritting his teeth saying no he doesn't. As Sasuke would turn to flames flying towards Gaara, Rock Lee would seemingly teleport using his strength and speed, as both would arrive on the scene with a kick at the same time. Sasuke is shouting out, "Lion's Barrage!" and Rock Lee saying, "Primary Lotus!" Both attacks would hit their mark, with Sasuke's heat transforming parts of Gaara into glass, and Lee hitting him in this strange power that causes him to transform out of his sand, making him curve his body as Gaara would take significant damage, screaming out in pain as he tries and grabs Lee's leg, successfully dehydrating some of the skin before Lee pulls his leg back and realizes what was happening. Sasuke would grin at this point, saying, "Leave the Logia to a Logia," telling Lee to go bug off and fight someone else. Lee would get annoyed by this, telling Sasuke that's not up to him, as he throws a punch at Gaara, which would make its mark again, causing him to go flying and sprawling out of the stadium and out of the wall into the forest. Naruto, who's already tapped into the Nine-Tails power today for a fair, decent chunk, is not going to be playing a main protagonist role in this part of the arc. I'm just saying, instead of Naruto and Sasuke being the ones to go after Gaara, it's Lee and Sasuke. Instead, Naruto would be by Hinata's side guarding the hospital, using his Hoshoken Toad-style arts whenever any enemy sound shinobi came up, basically just taking care of the fodder and asking what the hell's going on at the stadium. Remember, Naruto left and went with Hinata back to the hospital after his fight with Neji, and they were both sitting in Neji's hospital room, with Naruto feeling pretty bad about what he had done to her cousin, even if he did have it coming with all the shit he was talking. Back to Lee and Sasuke. Gaara would be turning into sand, flying through the forest with Sasuke in hot pursuit, no pun intended, and Lee trailing behind, not wanting to access deeper into the gates so as to not damage his body further, in case he needs to fight once they end this fight. Back in the Leaf, Orochimaru would be fighting Hiruzen, with Hiruzen having transformed using his Devil Fruit. That's right, Hiruzen is the eater of a special mythical Zoan Devil Fruit, just like all of the legendary Sannin are. Hiruzen would have been the one to consume the Hito no Mi Model Daibutsu, aka Model Buddha, the same Devil Fruit that Sengoku, the Fleet Admiral, would have consumed in the One Piece universe. Using shockwaves off of his hands as well as just physical attacks, he'd be trying his best to fight against Orochimaru, who would transform into a giant 7-headed snake, a complete transformation into the legendary Orochi snake from Legend. Two mythical Zoans battling it out in the middle of the village would be a sight to see, with two kaiju-like monsters fighting for dominion. Instead of no Reaper Death Seal here, we just have them fighting to the death, with Orochimaru here for blood to take down Hiruzen and assert dominance over the village that had caused him so much pain in his research and also just his life as a child. Orochimaru, being younger and stronger, having stronger haki than the third, would be able to overpower him, overpowering Hiruzen, wearing him down and slowly taking him down, biting him with venom, and slowly Hiruzen would de-transform as Orochimaru would win, taking down Hiruzen for good and killing the third Hokage of the Leaf Village. And as such, Rock Lee and Sasuke's battle would also continue against Gaara, with our boy Lee opening the third gate and finally putting Gaara down, Sasuke restraining him with a bond of flame, and the two taking Gaara back to the village in chains. Flame chains, to be specific. It had this moment where Sasuke grins, saying he's not so bad, with Lee smirking and saying he's not so bad himself, as the two's beef has been squashed pretty much. Naruto would have been protecting the hospital like the G he is alongside Hinata, with Neji being down for the count, not being able to do anything. And the rest of the Jonin would be pushing back the forces of the sand and the sound, eventually taking them out and imprisoning most of them. This is when we get the events of everything coming out that Orochimaru had manipulated the Sand Village by pretending to be the Kazekage, and also the new requirement and people looking for the next Hokage, the 5th Hokage. First off, the fruit of Hiruzen would be reincarnated and taken by Orochimaru, so he has taken a mythical Zoan of the model Daibutsu from the Leaf and is now retreating with it back to the Sound Village. So Orochimaru escapes, and now they're looking for a new Hokage, with Jiraiya being picked due to him also being a powerful Devil Fruit user and being known as a sage. This is where some lore is going to be dropped, okay? So, basically, like I mentioned a few parts ago, I left some information out about what happened when chakra was turned into Devil Fruits. One of those things being the presence of a new power in the universe, that being haki. Now, haki in Naruto is a bit different than what you would originally think of from One Piece, where it was based on your will and basically just your fighting spirit. But in Naruto, the term of sage is also different. Because there is no chakra or ninjutsu, a sage instead is someone who has the unique ability of the rarest and almost unobtainable type of haki, that being known as sage haki. That is this world's equivalent of Conqueror's haki, which honestly makes sense. For those of you wondering why I'm saying this and calling Conqueror's Haki Sage Haki, the color of a Conqueror could be interpreted in different ways. A Conqueror could be someone who's a king, who's wise and benevolent, or someone who's trying to take over the world, right? In Naruto, those who are strong and have been trained and accepted by nature, who are basically the kings of the world themselves, are the sages, freely able to manipulate nature energy. So in this version of events, Sage Mode is someone who's able to harness and activate their Sage Haki, or Conquerors, if you want me to be calling it that for the rest of the series. Whichever one, they are interchangeable, just like Mantra is called Observation Haki in One Piece. Mantra to Observation Haki, Sage to Conquerors. So Sage Haki is a thing now. A majority of the Hokage in the past have had Sage Haki. The first Hokage could use it, the third Hokage could use it, the fourth Hokage could use it. So the title of Sage, and Jiraiya being the Sage of Mount Miyaboku, has much more weight. So when he's saying it and throwing this title around, he's basically insinuating to people that he has one of the rarest types of Haki that can be used and found in the world. Anyway, speaking about Haki, Haki is a gift from the heavens. It is an ability for those who are able to draw upon their inner strength and will to force chakra to exit their body. Almost everyone can train to learn observation and armament Haki. However, based on Kikagenkais and other unique abilities, someone might be able to learn a version of Haki much quicker. In this case, Sasuke was able to pick up observation Haki, or the very basics of it, in just under a month because he possesses the Sharingan, which makes his observation Haki much stronger than the average person due to him being an Uchiha. Haki is not something well talked about because it's supposed to be a secret only Jonin can use. It is a test that only Jonin are able to use Haki, and basically no one else talks about it or even mentions it. So this strange power of Haki is rarely passed around the village, and out of the Jonin, very few are actually properly trained in it, and have to either learn it by having it being awakened during combat, or have a teacher, which is rare, because most people are not masters of Haki. That's why Guy and Lee are enigmas here, with Guy and Lee being masters of both armament and observation Haki. Haki this, Haki that, enough of the Haki. Anyway, let's get back to the actual show. Jiraiya would tell Naruto they're going on a trip, saying that he's going to be looking for an old friend, Tsunade, the last of the Sannin to be revealed on screen, explaining to Naruto that she's going to be the one to become the next Hokage, whether she knows it or not. And so, the Tsunade Retrieval arc begins! Yay! Naruto gets taken alongside Jiraiya. Jiraiya would tell Naruto that they have a long way to go, searching through gambling towns for the next couple of days and weeks. After they leave, and it's spread around the world that the third Hokage has died, this is when two unique figures begin to approach from the shadows. That being Itachi and Kisame. Is that Red-Eye Itachi and Kisame the Fishman murderer? It's so cringe. But anyway, that's the most One Piece styling introduction I could think of. Anyway, the two show up, Guy, Kakashi, and the other Jonin show up with them fighting it out. I'm going to skip the fight and come back to it later for the fact that I'm trying to not spoiler some things. Anyway, after it, the news spreads from Guy, who saved the rest of the other Jonin from the two, that Kakashi had been taken out by Itachi and Kisame. Sasuke would run after Naruto, running off in the direction that Jiraiya and Naruto went, since the two of them were apparently looking for Naruto. We would arrive at the hotel scene where Naruto opens the door, as Itachi Uchiha would stand there, menacingly. No, I'm just kidding. He'd open the door as he tries to grab Naruto. Naruto would roll out into the hallway, getting out of the way, as Itachi would smirk. At this point, Kisame would come into the hallway, and Sasuke would arrive. As Sasuke starts running down the hallway, turning his hand to flames as he throws a fire fist, Itachi would simply laugh as he then says, "Room shambles." He would move his fingers with the Akatsuki ring glimmering as the entire hallway would start vertically spinning. Sasuke would yelp in pain, and Itachi would slam his fist into Sasuke's neck against the wall, activating his Mangekyo Sharingan as he tells Sasuke that he doesn't have enough hatred yet to defeat him. Naruto would fall over, being disoriented from the room technique, as he stammers out, That's the Ope Ope no Mi, the same fruit that the fourth Hokage had." We get a flashback to Jiraiya talking to Naruto about his Quake fruit, reminiscing about his student who was the 4th Hokage, who was the wielder of the Ope no Mi, the ability to use a spherical room and control everything inside of it. Sasuke would stammer out, and with his neck being squished, "How did you have the power of that Hokage?" as he tries to burn Itachi. Itachi would teleport, moving away from the flames, as he then throws a kick at Sasuke, with it connecting, blasting Sasuke out of the building and onto the street below. It's at this point then we would hear, "Gomu Gomu no! Leap a frog!" Jiraiya, having stretched his hands to the end of the hallway, would release as he comes flying down at raging speeds, slamming his leg into Kisame, who even with Samehara would be crashing into Itachi. Before Itachi could even use his Delphi ability, the two would go exploding out of the room, crashing into the street below, as Master Jiraiya would stand there, the two of them being now outmatched, as Itachi would say, saying that they'll leave for now. They'll be back for the Nine Tails. Unlike the original, he would not have used a Genjutsu on Sasuke, so Sasuke is not unconscious. Instead, Naruto would ask Sasuke to go back to the village and tell them about what happened with the rogue ninja of Itachi possessing that devil fruit. Jiraiya would ask what he means when he tells Jiraiya about what he had said himself, saying that that guy had used room. Jiraiya would put his hand on his chin thinking about it for a while, as he then tells Sasuke that he shouldn't tell anyone about this. If your brother is captured by another village and they obtain that power of the Ope no Mi, it could start a war between the Leaf Village and whichever village acquires it. So, I propose that the three of us keep this a secret. Sasuke would think about it, agreeing himself that even if he wants Itachi dead, he wants to be the one to go after him himself, not have an entire legion of ninjas sent after him just because of his Devil Fruit power that he attained. And so, they would all keep it a secret. This is when Sasuke heads back to the Leaf Village, and Naruto and Jiraiya would continue on their way. It's here that we would eventually get to the point where we see Tsunade in the bar, making fun of the Hokage position, and Naruto would tell her to shut up, saying she doesn't know anything. This is when she reveals that she's actually the granddaughter of the first Hokage, and the two have their mock fight outside of the bar. Tsunade would tell him that he's going to regret this, as she smirks, hiccuping even though she's drunk, as she would simply hold her hand out, telling Naruto to give her her best shot. Naruto would leap forward using Hashoken, trying to do a roundhouse kick on Tsunade. Tsunade's hand, though, would phase through the kick as she laughs, saying there's no way he can defeat her. What? She turned into blue flames, just like Sasuke! Jiraiya, you didn't tell him? Yeah, of course I did, idiot. I'm Tsunade, of the Sannin, and I'm the one who ate the mythical Zoan of the Tori no Mi model Phoenix. Jiraiya would cough, adding on that Tsunade is known for being the best healer the Leaf has ever produced. To this, she would laugh, thinking of how ironic it all is. Someone like her who can't even bleed, being afraid of blood. Naruto would keep spewing about how he's going to become the Hokage someday anyway, as he keeps trying to throw attacks at her, before she pulls her fist back, throwing a punch at Naruto. Naruto would get blasted back by the blue flames, landing on the ground and coughing, as she then says that if he really keeps believing that he can be Hokage someday, then, Shizune, what's a good number? 2 weeks? 2 weeks. I'll give you 2 weeks to be able to hit me. And if you can, then I will give you this necklace. My grandfather's, the first Hokage. And so, the next day, Naruto would beg Jiraiya to teach him how he can hit that granny, how that Itachi guy hit Sasuke, or how Bushy Brows or Bushy Brow Sensei can hit Logia types. Jiraiya would laugh, saying it's a little bit more complicated than that, as he decides to show Naruto the technique that you need to use in order to be able to hit someone who can phase through attacks. Jiraiya would say, watch closely, as he then walks up to 2 trees, saying this is a normal punch, as he pulls his fist back, slamming it into the tree and falling the tree in one hit, and the tree just falling over. Now this is using armament. He'd pull his hand back, not even stretching it, and just throwing the punch. The tree would be obliterated, flying across the field and slamming into 2 others, with those trees also falling to the ground. Naruto would be amazed, begging Jiraiya to teach him. Teach me how to use that armament hockey stuff. If you guys want to see the next part for What If Naruto Had Devil Fruits, make sure to hit the like button, comment down below what you thought, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this from me. I have several full stories that'll be coming out soon, so look forward to that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe so you can always see more videos from me, and hit the notification bell because YouTube hates me now after I took a break for a while. But we are back and we are on our way. And as such, you guys are on your way. So I'll see you next time. Jane!